Word allows you to easily create both bulleted lists and numbered lists. In this video, I introduce you to the topic and show how easy it is to create lists, change them, and remove them. Two types of lists are commonly used in printed material. The first is a bulleted list, and the second is a numbered list. A bulleted list is nothing but a list of related items with a symbol to the left of the first line of each item in the list. For example, you can see a bulleted list here in the document that's visible on the screen. In the case of this bulleted list, the symbol used as the bullet is a small dot. A numbered list is a little different. It consists of a series of items, each with a sequential number in front of it. You can see an example of a numbered list just a little bit further down in the document here. This usage points out the primary way that you can decide which type of list to use in your own documents. If you have a sequence of steps that must be followed in a particular order, you should use a numbered list. If you have a group of items to which you want special treatment given, but they don't represent a series that must be followed in sequence, well then, you should use a bulleted list. Creating lists is easy to do in Word. All you need to do is make sure that each item in the list is a paragraph. In other words, at the end of each list item, you should press the Enter key. When you are done typing the items in the list, then all you have to do is select them and convert them into the list. Let me show you how this works. We're going to go down just a little bit further in this document here. And I have some standard paragraphs down here. I'm going to select all of these. You can see that each of these ends with the Enter key being pressed. You can see that there's a hard return at the end of each paragraph. With these selected, all I have to do is display the Home tab of the ribbon, just like we have at the top of this window, and then click on either the Bullets tool right here, which would convert it into a bulleted list, or click on the Numbered List tool, the numbering tool right here. So for instance, if I want to make this into a bulleted list, I would just click on this tool and it automatically becomes a bulleted list within the document. If I instead wanted it to be a numbered list, then all I would have had to have done is click on the numbering tool right here, and it becomes a numbered list. This points out one very important usability feature within Microsoft Word. Did you notice that I could convert from one type of list to the other just by clicking on the tool that I want? It's a numbered list right now, but if I click on bullets, then it becomes a bulleted list, or I can switch it back to a numbered list. Either way, the tool controls what type of list this is treated as in the document. If you later want to remove a list without deleting the text within the list itself, all I have to do is again select the items within the list like I've done right down here, and then notice that in this case the bulleted tool is selected. It shows that it's been selected. If I click on that again, then they're changed back to normal paragraphs. In other words, the list is removed. The text in the paragraphs still stays there, but they are no longer treated as a list. I should note that if you don't select all of the paragraphs in the original list, then Word will only make changes to what you did select. So for instance, let's say that this was a numbered list right here, and all I did was select, we'll select paragraph number 2 right there, and that's the only item that we select in the list. If I then click on this numbering tool up here, notice that it's removed from just that one paragraph that I'd selected, and notice that it redid the numbering on the remaining items within the list. So now they're numbered 1 through 3 instead of 1 through 4 like they were before. If I again change this back to a numbered list, then the numbering is again adjusted to reflect that there are 4 items in the list. Finally, you may have noticed that Word, by default, creates quite simple lists. A bulleted list, for instance, like we have up here higher up in the document, uses a dot at the beginning of each list element, and a numbered list uses an Arabic number. You can get a bit more creative with your lists if you want to. After you select the paragraphs that you want to be in the list, well, then what you can do is you can click on this down arrow right next to the tool. And when I do, it shows different bullets that I can use within this particular list. Now notice that as I hover over different items within the bullet library, it shows me within the document what that'll look like if I click on that item in the bulleted library. Now, if you don't see a bullet that you like within this bullet library, you can add something else to it if you want to by clicking right down here where it says Define New Bullet. And when I do that, it displays the Define New Bullet dialog box. And then I can go ahead and pick a symbol, and I can pick any symbol that I want to have out to the left of this list. So for instance, if I want this heart character, then I can select it and click on OK, and it shows within this preview box what that will look like. And if I click on OK again, then we see that there are hearts now used as the bullets for this bulleted list. And if I click that down arrow up here again, notice that it shows that that heart character is within the bullet library now. You should realize that this topic of lists in word lingo can get quite involved. For this reason, I could have spent quite a bit of time discussing lists in this video. I purposely haven't done that, however, because I instead wanted to provide only an introduction to the topic and give you enough guidance that you can start creating lists right away. In the future, I may create some additional videos that will help expand your understanding of the topic. If you found this video helpful, you should consider clicking the subscribe button just below the video and also clicking the bell icon. That way YouTube will let you know whenever I add another video to the WordTips channel. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today.